Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm David with Agricultural Economic Insights, joining you to talk about the chart of the week. Sure, a chart that I think is really valuable and really helpful and something worth thinking about. Randy Dickhoot and I had a chance to dig into some new data sources from acres.com that's going to allow us to understand farmland activity. And so, one of the questions that we wanted to tackle is the kind of rule of thumb that you might have heard is that 2% of farmland changes hand annually. So, is that true? And that rule of thumb goes even deeper to say half of that, so 1% of farmland it changes hands through sales transactions, and the other 1% is through generational transfers. So this acres.com data captures sales transactions, and we can look at it at the state level, but also the county level. And that's a really valuable exercise here. So this data specifically for Illinois is available from 2018 up to 2013. And so the first thing we wanted to sort of look at is the share of Illinois farmland acreage that has sold each year. And so right off the bat, we see that at least between 2018 and 2023, the state average has outpaced this 1% rule of thumb for sales. And when we look at it, it was 1.5% in 2018, got as high as 2.2% in 2021, and then, of course, fell back down to 1.6% in 2023. And so a lot of us aren't surprised by this big boom that we saw in farmland sales in 2021 and in the early parts of 2022. And we're also surprised by the downturn. But what's, of course, really unique about this data set from Acres is that we can also look at that activity at the county level. Now, 1%. And what we've done here is we've looked at it 1% annually, and we've looked at it cumulative over 6 years. And so we've added all this up. So a county might have had a lot of sales in one year and a slow year at different times. So it can be a little bit lumpy. So we want to look at this over a longer period of time. Again, 6% is sort of the rule. And so if counties are at 6%, they're at the rule. And as you can see, there's only a handful of counties, mostly in central Illinois, but other parts of the state as well, who have 7.5% of their farmland sold over those 6 years or less. And so a slow activity in these light shaded, almost yellow counties. But let's look at the darkest shading. These are in northeast Illinois, in western Illinois, and in southern Illinois. And as you can see, these deep shaded green counties had more than 15% of their farmland acreage sell during these 6 years. And so that is outpacing that 6% for farmland transactions. It's outpacing the 2% annual. That would be 12% cumulative over those 6 years for transactions through sales and generational transfers. And so if you're living in one of these regions that's in the yellow, you're going to say, man, we haven't seen a whole lot of farmland sell. I better get aggressive about this next farm that comes up. If you're one of these darker shaded counties, you've seen a lot of farmland on the market and you've been you've had a lot of at bats. You've had a lot of opportunities to think about, what's that next farm that I maybe want to purchase. So one of the things I think it's really important to keep in mind here is not only are we going to be able to keep a monitor of farmland transactions, both at the state level, but also looking at it at the county level. It's also a reminder to keep in the back of your head this adage in real estate: location, location, location. There's a lot of variation that we've seen in activity just over the last 6 years. And so longer term, there's going to be a lot of additional questions that we can start to answer. For example, is this 6 years of data? Is this common? Are these dark shaded counties always transacting a lot of farmland, or is there some ebb and flow here that plays out at these different counties? So we'll take a look at that and other data in the years to come. That's all we have for this week. Until next time, stay curious.